10 early warning signs of cervical cancer you should not ignore. Cervical cancer is a deadly disease that kills hundreds of thousands of women worldwide each year. According to the Global Impact Study of Cervical Cancer, about 490,000 new women each year are diagnosed with cervical cancer, and about 270,000 died each year. To know the signs of obvious cervical cancer is very important to your survival. In this video, we are going to share with you 10 early signs of cervical cancer that you should watch out for to save your life. Watch now to learn more. An estimated 13,170 women all over the United States are diagnosed with cervical cancer every year. However, the death toll has continuously decreased with each passing year because women have been more proactive in taking preventive measures so as not to contract this type of cancer. And if they do, they manage to catch it early on. Unfortunately, the story is different for women in developing countries. Women who are diagnosed early with cervical cancer have a higher chance of surviving than those who find out too late. So women need to know the signs and symptoms so that they will be able to catch the illness quickly. Following are 10 early warning signs of cervical cancer you should not ignore. 1. Lower back pain. Pain connected to the lower back can signify a lot of different health problems. That's because the area is linked to many of the internal organs. Constant pain around the lower back area can be one of the signs of cervical cancer. Unfortunately, this is also one of the most ignored warning signs. 2. Leg pain. Aside from lower back pain, sudden leg pain may also validate the existence of cervical cancer in your body. This typically comes after the individual has experienced other symptoms and after they have started feeling lower back pains. Women who are experiencing both symptoms have a higher probability of having cervical cancer, so it is important to get screened immediately. 3. Pelvic pain. Having pelvic pain is one of the most probable signs of cervical cancer. This pain is focused around the appendix and pelvic area. However, this only occurs after the cancer cells have already developed, so you must watch out for some of the earlier symptoms before the pelvic pain to have a better chance of successfully fighting the disease. 4. Loss of appetite. Women with cervical cancer typically lose interest in eating. This is one of the initial signs usually exhibited by women with cervical cancer. However, it is also one of the most ignored because it can be caused by several factors, including anxiety or stress. 5. Weight loss. Although it may also be connected to the loss of appetite, some women with cervical cancer still experience unexplainable weight loss, even though they may be eating as much food as they want. That's because their body starts to process food and nutrition differently. 6. Abnormal vaginal discharge. Women with cervical cancer have an abnormal amount and characteristics of vaginal discharge. They may produce an increased amount of vaginal discharge or experience some bleeding with the discharge. They may also notice that their vaginal discharge has an unusual odor. It may come out as pinkish and watery or having a foul smell. 7. Longer and heavier menstrual periods. The typical and regular flow of menstrual period lasts for about 3 to 7 days. But cervical cancer may cause a woman to have a more extended period and heavier blood flow. 8. Pain and vaginal bleeding during intercourse. Cervical cancer may lead to abnormal bleeding, including vaginal bleeding after intercourse. Women may feel pain during sex and experience abnormal bleeding after. This is caused by tumor growth around the reproductive organs as cancer continues to develop. 9. Vaginal bleeding during menopause. Another sign of cervical cancer for older women is having abnormal vaginal bleeding, even after their menopause, due to the presence of tumor growth. 10. Unusual vaginal bleeding between periods. This is applicable for women who have regular menstrual cycles. Cervical cancer may be one of the causes for vaginal bleeding even before your 28 or 35-day period ends. However, there may also be other factors that have caused this symptom, so you must validate it with some of the other known warning signs. The best thing to do is to consult your doctor just to be sure. These are only some of the most common early warning signs of cervical cancer you should not ignore. Just keep in mind that it is always better to have a proper checkup before assuming the worst. Women who catch their cancer at an early stage have a survival rate of 92%. So make sure to know the signs and symptoms ahead of time to have a better chance of surviving this dreaded disease just in case. Here is the study reference we used to create this video. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please share with your friends, and please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. If you want to be notified of our new uploads, do the following. New subscribers, click on the bell icon when you subscribe. Old subscribers, please turn on all your notifications.